Hi, my name is Jane Howard Crutchfield. I just made this quick video to share some crate training exercises with you, just things you can work with your dog on to help them become more comfortable with the crate. Some important things to remember before watching the video are, first of all, take it really slow. So you want to work at your dog's pace. We call it setting them up for success, meaning not pushing them past their threshold where they feel stressed. So I would say start at step one, stay at step one for that first session. If they are super comfortable with it and you can tell, then maybe move to step two, but just really gauge your dog. Every dog is going to be different depending on their history with the crate or their personalities in general. So pay attention to what your dog is telling you. If they look like they're having a great time, maybe you can go to the next step and see how they do there. But it's really important to stay below their threshold because it helps reinforce this positive training that we're doing. So it helps them maintain that positive association with the crate. Some additional things you can do other than this video are to feed the dog their food, their regular food in the crate, and or to give them a Kong, a stuffed Kong or a bully stick or something every now and then, only in the crate. So they associate these great things with being in the crate. All right, so yeah, we'll get started. Thanks. So we're just going to work on a little bit of crate training exercises for you to work with your dog, just to help to get them more comfortable being in a crate. So they're simple little exercises. You want to work like no more than 5 to 10 minutes at a time during a session, and then you can give them a little break. You can come back to it in a little while, but just short little sessions are super effective. So step number one, when you're working with a crate, especially if they're really scared of the crate, Corbin here used to be absolutely terrified of being in the crate, and would just panic the whole entire time. We've done some work, so he's a little better now. But I'll go ahead and show you. So the step number one is super easy. You're going to take your treat. I would suggest high value treats such as hot dogs or cheese in the beginning, so they get super excited about it. I'm using these training treats because he's a little more familiar with exercises. You're just going to take your treat. You have the crate open lengthwise, not on the side, because you want their body to run all the way inside of the crate so that they turn around and they're all the way in there. If you open the side gate, then they're just going to kind of stick their head in and get the treat. It's not really going to work. So from here, you take the treat, toss it to the back of the crate, let him go in, and then let him run right back out. So Corbin is not going to run right back out, but your dog is probably going to run right back out because he's not ready to be lying down in the crate. So toss a treat, let him come out. Come on out. Toss a treat, let him come out. You missed it. Here you go. Repeat that, I would say, for the first few sessions at least. 5 to 10 minutes of just tossing the treat in, letting him come back out. So just getting them used to going into the crate on their own without being touched, without being forced in there. They're following the treat. They're putting themselves in the crate, and let them run back out. Okay, so step number two, after you've done that for a few times and you can tell that your dog is somewhat comfortable with that step, you're going to take the treat, toss it in the back just like before. You can say in the crate or something similar to kind of let them know that that's what they're doing. And then you want to kind of catch them before they have a chance to come out. So I'll demonstrate that again. So he's not running out of the crate, so I'm not really catching him, but your dog probably will. So you're going to get them in the crate. They're going to turn around. You're going to put treats on the floor. You might have to put a bunch of them to get them to stay in there at first. You're just going to put them right on the floor. And if they stick their head out or if they come out of the crate, you just stop with the treats. So the treats only happen when they're inside of the crate. They can come out. They're more than welcome to come out if they do the treat stop. And they kind of quickly figure that out, that they're only getting treats in this little box. All right, so come on up. I'm throwing treats out here to get him out, but y'all, no treats out of the crate when you're working on this. All right, so throw this back here. No. All right, I'll get it. So the next step, come on up. So the next step is going to be to throw the treat in the back of the crate, just like always. Get him to turn around. Put the treats in the crate, and then you want him to lie down. So if your dog knows the lie down cue, you can tell him to lie down. Otherwise, you can just kind of stick your hand between their feet and slowly press it down and forward, and it will make them lie down just naturally because they don't have anywhere else to go in order to get that treat. They might be hesitant. Some dogs are super hesitant to lie down. If they don't want to lie down, that's totally fine. But we want them to get as calm as possible. So I like to have them lie down. Corbin was trained this way, so he knows that when he's in the crate, he needs to be lying down in order to get treats. So it's hard to demonstrate if they were standing up because I don't think he's going to stand up. But you still give them treats as long as they're in the crate. And it is anytime that you see them starting to relax a little more, definitely if you can get them down, that's great. But anytime you can see them, if they're sitting down, if they offer any relaxed behavior, reward the crap out of that because they will do more of what gets rewarded. Okay, so from here, he's offering calm behavior. I'm giving him treats. We're gonna mess with the door. So a lot of times when they hear this door, they see you touching the door, they wanna just flee, right? Fight or flight. They know that this is a signal that they're about to be trapped. So I would suggest touching the door, giving them a treat. Touching the door, giving them a treat. As long as they're in their crate. If they run out, toss the treat bag, start from the beginning, get them back in here, and touch the door, give them the treat while you're touching it, so they reassociate this noise and this movement with positive, they're getting rewards. It's classical conditioning, so they're changing their perception of this to something positive instead of something scary. So you can start to move it, move in small steps, but start to move it more closed, giving them little treats the whole way. You can't really over-treat. I think I might have said that already, but you cannot over-treat. When you're working on these things, the more treats, the better. Eventually, you're gonna be able to get the door all the way closed and put the treats in just straight through the cracks. I like to drop them on the floor because it still keeps them calmer when they're eating the treats off the floor as opposed to eating it from your fingers. It also enhances the possibility that the probability that they'll stay lying down if they are already lying down. So lots of treats there, and then let them out. So just a few seconds at a time, especially in the beginning. When you first get the door closed, I wouldn't even keep it for more than a few seconds and then let them out. It's like, free, yeah, good job. So that's that step. The next step is going to be to move away from the crate a little bit, but you have to remember that when you're moving through these steps, you stay at each step for quite a while until you can tell that they're comfortable with that step. I'm flying through them because I want to show you all of them. So from here, we're going to get him back in the crate. Right, in the crate. Get him to lie down, give him a treat. Oops. Close the door. Give him a treat. And then from here, you're going to start to take baby steps away from the crate. Okay, he's staying lying down. Give him a treat. You want to reward it pretty quickly at this stage because this is a big step. Like for them to have the door closed and you to start to move away where they can't see you, they need to know that to not freak out. So what you want to do is reward faster than they can freak out. You don't have to say anything, just giving them the treats does the trick. All right, so you're there for a little while, and then you can start to increase the time between treats. Good job. You can keep increasing the time. You can start to kind of walk around your house a little more. You could get to the point where you can go outside the front door, close the front door, come back in, give him a treat. So as long as he's staying in there, staying calm, you come back and you give him a treat. And when you release them, yay, good and then you do it again. So between each of these steps, you release them and you give them a little break. So 5 to 10 minutes at a time, staying on one step for a while until you can tell that your dog is comfortable there, that you're not pushing them past their limit. If you push them past their limit, then you're kind of backtracking. So once they get past their limit, it's harder to keep the progress going as quickly. So I really can't stress enough to take it really slowly and to stay below their threshold as much as possible. But if you do pass that threshold, you just start back again from the beginning, just from tossing the treats, letting them out. Tossing the treats, keeping them in by putting the treats in the bottom of the crate and letting them out. Short little time frames for this. And that's really about it. And once you start doing this multiple times a day for 5 to 10 minutes, your dog will start going in there on his own, because that's where he gets super great things. All right, so it's totally easy if you have a little patience and a lot of treats.